Hey y'all, welcome back to Fruit Friday. I'm your host Maddie, or Yajai in Thai, and today I am so excited to introduce Fruit Friday's very first guest, my best friend Maggie.
Hello!
This is Maggie. Maggie is an incredibly talented educator. She's a fantastic teacher. She's also a super creative girl. She's a great musician. She is a stand-up comedian. She's hilarious. And she happens to be my best friend in the whole world, as I mentioned, and I'm so happy that she wants to be on my podcast today. So Maggie, welcome to Fruit Friday.
Thank you. What an intro. I forgot I was all those things.
You are all those things and more, and I wish that I could spend an entire hour gushing about how much I love you, because I could talk for hours, but unfortunately that's not what today's episode is about.
Bonus clips.
Yeah, so we'll film a future episode where it's all about how much we love Maggie.
Perfect.
But to start, I just want to tell you guys one story about my friendship with Maggie, because I think it perfectly summarizes our relationship and just like how much you mean to me as a friend. And I think it's a funny story.
What's it gonna be?
Well, once upon a time, I was dating this guy. We were together for about 6 months, and we planned to go on a trip for my birthday. And he told me, like, you can plan the whole trip, whatever you want to do. He was going to pay for it, but he just was like, it's all up to you. It's your birthday trip. So I was like, okay, great. So I had like booked everything, or like picked out everything I wanted to do on the trip, picked out the hotels, the dinner reservations, the activities, whatever. And we go on this trip, just the two of us. And he is being such a spoil sport about everything that we wanted to do. He was just like, not interested, whatever. And I was getting so annoyed, because I was like, why did you tell me to plan the trip? Why did you tell me to do this stuff if you didn't want to do it? And then things kind of like kicked off one night when we were at dinner, because I was like, tomorrow I really want to go on this waterfall hike. And he was like, I didn't bring my swimsuit. And we are on a tropical island.
Yeah.
This man doesn't bring his swimsuit to a tropical island. And I was like,
asking for trouble.
yeah. Who doesn't bring a swimsuit on a beach vacation? Like, are you dumb?
Somebody who wants to sit inside and pout.
Yeah, I don't know what his deal was. Anyway, so like things kind of kicked off that night. Next day he woke up and he was like, I'm not having fun, I want to leave. So long story short, he dumps me. He gets on the ferry. He leaves me on this island by myself in the middle of my birthday trip.
Oh no!
And I was like really sad, but I was also just like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
And so I did what any girl who has Maggie as a best friend would do. I texted her. Thankfully, it was a Sunday, and Maggie and I celebrate Sunday Fun Day.
Yes.
Which means we can do whatever we want. We
It's
never know what's
sacred.
going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I said, Maggie, would you like to Sunday Fun Day yourself to Koh Phangan, the island that I was on, and have dinner with me tonight? And she was like, what do you mean? Like, what about your boyfriend?
Yeah, at first I thought you were inviting me to your romantic dinner together with your boyfriend, which I also would have been down for.
Yes. And I was like, oh, he left. He broke up with me. And this girl got a cat sitter, adjusted her work schedule, and got on the next speedboat to cross the ocean to rescue me on this trip so that I wouldn't have like a terrible ending to my birthday trip. And she showed up at my hotel.
Yeah.
She was like, what do you want? I've got everything.
Yeah.
She dressed me up in her clothes. She gave me these beautiful earrings. She took me out for a cocktail at this super nice cocktail bar on this beach.
Yeah.
We had the most delicious Persian food. Oh, and before that, we got those matching outfits.
Oh yeah, we bought matching outfits, which is something that we do.
We have a lot of I'm surprised that we're not matching
Yeah,
today,
actually,
actually.
me too.
A little bit disappointed. I thought we were going to maybe do crochet pants, but next time.
Next time
we'll coordinate. Anyway, we go into the store. We just have like so much fun, just being girls and shopping. And then we went and got vegan cake, and we were eating cake on the beach.
So much cake.
Went back to the hotel, like had some wine. It was just like the best end to the trip, and I couldn't have imagined a more fun birthday trip, actually.
We really just giggled our way through it and turned a confusing, unfortunate situation into a hilarious good time.
Yeah, and a core memory. And I think I feel so lucky to have a friend that would do that for me, and I like hope other people in the world have friendship like that, where they can just like call up their bestie, and their bestie gets on a boat and
Bag full of wine. Everybody get out of my way. Maddie needs me.
swims across the ocean.
Show up in a floaty with a bottle of wine.
She's like, it's gonna be okay. And it was.
Yeah.
And so that is, that's my favorite story. I
And
think, of
I'm
our
grateful
relationship.
for the paid for hotel room and all the dinner reservations and the whole trip that was
Shout
just
out
laid
to
out
my
for us.
ex. Oh, good times, good times. Okay, but this is Fruit Friday, of course, so let's get into our fruit for today, which is, da-da-da. Would you like to introduce it?
Durian, you guys.
Durian.
And I know some of you are running out of the room right now. You're like, oh no, durian, it's so stinky. But You're wrong.
You're wrong. Do you remember the first time you had durian?
Yes, and the first time I had it, I made a mistake because there are right ways and wrong ways to eat durian. And the first time I had it, I already had a burrito in my stomach. And it was high noon in Thailand.
Oh, God.
And I was sitting on this scorching beach trying to do this durian thing that people say you're supposed to do. And rule number 1 with durian, you do not want a burrito in your stomach. You want to be kind of ready for it.
It's actually written in the rule book for durian is do not eat a burrito.
Do not eat a burrito pre-durian.
No.
Because it's a very, like, nourishing, health. It basically is a burrito. It's like nature's
it's nature's burrito. I would say.
Also, don't eat it when you're like really hot and in a really hot situation because it's a heating food. You know, they're also in the rule book is you're not supposed to mix durian and alcohol for that reason because it just becomes this inferno. So I made all the mistakes the first time that I had it and was like, no, I'm not into it. But then I started dating one of these vegan cyclists that go through Chiang Mai.
One of those.
Yeah, you know, they got their spandex, they're like mono-mealing fruit, they're going up and down the mountain and up and down the mountain.
They call them fruitarians, I believe.
Yes, and they worship durian because it's like this nutrient-packed, really delicious, heavy fruit.
I would agree.
Yeah, and through that experience, I learned how to eat durian right.
I had a similar experience. The first time I ate durian, someone brought it to my Muay Thai gym, and durian is expensive. Durian's a very expensive fruit, and I think he didn't have durian money. So he bought like this really cheap durian that had been overripened, so it was super, super soft and like almost to the point where it's slimy. And then it gets really acidic and kind of like almost like an alcoholic fermented taste.
Okay, I am not one to shake a finger at a borderline fermented durian.
Hot take.
Yeah.
We got a hot take in the house.
Give it to me mushy, give it to me stinky. But I understand that I'm of the few.
And for the first experience, I think it's a bad way to approach it. But then once I learned to actually eat it in its purest and best form, it's kind of like a perfectly toasted marshmallow. It's nature's marshmallow.
It's nature's salted caramel. It's nature's honey roasted chicken. It's nature's hot
It's
pocket.
nature's burrito.
So the way that I get durian is I get a whole durian. So when you mentioned you need that durian money, it's like, you know, you're going to go spend 500 baht on fruit.
Or more.
Yeah, or more. And I get it. And it's like this big and spiky. It looks like a dragon egg. And I put it on my kitchen table. And then I wait. And slowly my house fills up with the permeating aroma of durian. And then the stem pops off one day. And that's how you know you're getting close. And then the next morning usually, the whole thing like cracks open like a dragon's egg. And then
it hatches.
it hatches. And then I don't even have to use a knife or a machete or anything. I can just rip into it with my hands.
Barbaric.
Yeah, it's pretty barbaric. And then I just eat as much of it as I can. You know, I learned from the vegan cyclists. Yeah, this is a mono meal. And to just be full of durian is actually like an amazing feeling. And then whatever I can't eat, put it in the freezer.
This is the best.
Because then what happens, Maddie?
Turns into durian ice cream.
Yeah.
Like literally effortless durian ice cream. It is amazing.
You're just like holding ice cream in your hand and eating it.
Yeah. And nature made that. It just grew on a tree. Who needs dairy when you can have durian?
Dairy when you have durian, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would say I like mine a little bit less ripe. Like I like mine just pre-pop. You know, before like the day before the stem falls off. I want a pre-popped durian. But I do agree with you that there is a right and a wrong way to do it. And I think that it's important that people understand that they need to eat durian the right way so they can appreciate it.
Because if you do it wrong, you're not going to like it.
If you eat durian incorrectly, number one, you kind of waste it. You waste the fruit and then you ruin the experience for yourself. And it's just not honoring to the durian.
But once you can like learn how to do it the right way, then it becomes like people travel to Thailand just for durian.
And I think in the same way, when we move abroad, when we travel abroad, there is a correct and incorrect way to integrate into a culture. And when you do it incorrectly, you're not honoring the place that you're in. And so that's what I want to talk about today, is cultural integration and how to do that correctly.
Ooh, what a nice metaphor.
I know.
Did you think of that in advance?
I did.
Yeah, honor the durian. Finish the durian. Yeah, because also if you do it wrong, then you just join the group of people who don't like durian.
Oh.
Why do you want to be one of them?
Why would you want to be part of that group?
No, be part of the group of people who likes durian. And if you're not Asian and you like durian, people freak out.
People freak out.
You know?
They love that.
Yeah. So that is also a lot about integration, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is very weird for Westerners. Mm-hmm. You know, it's savory, it's sweet, it's like this whole journey. This is not usually how we receive fruit. Mm-mm. So there is something like, yeah, it's like a surrender and integration to just
I like that.
take the time to figure out how to like it.
Yeah.
It's Fruit Friday, yeah, let's take a bite. Life's sweet and sour, take it slice by slice. Humor, heart, and wisdom, served just right. Laughing, learning, loving too. Fruit Friday's here with the juice for you.
All right.
Right.
So back to the episode. Could you give us maybe just like a brief summary of your journey in Thailand?
Journey in Thailand or journey to Thailand?
Your
in,
eras. Walk us through
around.
your Thailand eras.
I'll try and go fast, but I've been here a long time.
Okay. We actually don't know how long Maggie's been in Thailand because
Yeah.
if you ask Maggie a question and the answer's a
Sorry,
number, she can't answer.
Yeah. And also, I like to lie about how long I've been here because my Thai is not at the level of my how many years I've been here. So I'm embarrassed to tell people how many years I've been here. So I'm always like, oh, I've only been here 5 years. Habi leo ka. But
Nice.
it's really more like 15.
Good. Okay, well give us your overview. Tell us about your journey.
Okay, so it started in high school when I was just incredibly curious about the world outside of where I grew up. Similar to where Maddie grew up, like St. Louis in Missouri.
Side note, we live like oddly parallel lives. We have the same initials. Our
Yeah.
names are one letter apart.
Yeah.
D and G. We
Yeah.
both grew up in the Midwest.
Yeah.
And now we live on like opposite sides of the same town, 2 minutes away from our
Yeah.
favorite coffee shops. Like, it's strange.
And people from where we come from don't usually get out much.
No.
You don't find people from the Midwest roaming around Asia very often.
Rarely ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Midwesterners like to stay in the Midwest.
Yeah,
They're fine.
they don't have passports.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of them don't.
Yeah, they're that percentage of Americans that
Yeah,
don't
so
have
it's
passports.
crazy that we found ourselves
Yeah.
here.
Both of us.
Yes.
with
Sorry,
our similar
continue.
names. Okay, so I was ready to flee the scene after high school. I was like, I'm gonna do one of these gap years that the Europeans are always talking about.
Sexy.
Yeah, and my parents were like, here's an offer. If you go to college right now, we'll help you pay for it. If you don't go to college right now, we won't.
That's a hell of an offer.
I was like, you made me an offer I can't refuse. So I went to college, and my curiosity about the world continued to burn. I managed to study abroad for a summer in Spain, which just made the curiosity even more. But then I finished college, and I was like, now's my moment. I'm getting the hell out of these United States. And I had a boyfriend at the time. We'll call him the poet.
The poet.
The poet. And he had just been studying contemplative psychology, which is like Buddhist psychology,
interesting.
with a minor in Tai Chi.
Okay.
I had been studying philosophy with a minor in Spanish. So we were trying to decide where to go, and he was saying Southeast Asia, and I was saying South America, and he was saying Southeast Asia, and I was saying South America. Somehow he won. I'm glad he won, or I'd be in Colombia right
I'm
now
glad
or
he won,
something.
too.
I know. So it came time we compared different countries in Southeast Asia, and we narrowed down Thailand, and sold our cars, sold all of our stuff. We're packing up to go, and everybody said, "How long are you guys going to be gone?" And he said, "A year," and I said, "Forever." And then we said, "Ha ha ha ha." But that's exactly what ended up happening. After about a year, he was good. He was ready to move back to the U.S. and
Okay.
do that. And I'm still here.
You're still here.
5 to 10 to 15 years later.
Undetermined amount of time.
Some
Okay.
unknown. How can we ever know how long I've been here?
We might never know unless we call up the poet.
That's true.
Get some receipts on this man.
Yeah.
But poets don't keep receipts.
No,
I feel like
that's
no.
not their
That's not their
nature.
thing. Oh, okay, amazing. So if you think back to when you first came to Thailand,
Yeah.
can you remember anything that was like really stood out to you as different or difficult to adapt to coming from the US?
Yeah. I remember, and this is such an American thing to say, but I had like a really hard time letting go of the American breakfast, Because in
Interesting.
Asia, they be eating soup, They're
They're having noodle soup. Morning,
want
noon, and
soup.
night.
they want porridge, you know, they want like a real liquidous breakfast. And my American self was feeling like it needed to be eggs and toast, and, you know, that's all very available here. But yeah, I remember that being like a weird adjustment. I also spent like the first year in Thailand refusing to put ice in my beer because they would never do that. And where I'm from in the US, we have a very big like craft beer culture, and to put ice in a beer would be like,
That's a sin. That's a sin. Cardinal sin.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
I think that's
now-
like the 11th commandment is thou shalt not put ice in your beer.
Yeah, exactly. But in Thailand, it's like, you've got to do it, especially if you're drinking like local style, where you're drinking their
Yeah, you need to water that down.
lagers, you know, it's just like you dehydrate and rehydrate in equal proportions if you put ice in the beer.
You kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, yeah. But I feel like I took like a year resisting that concept and like looking for my American breakfast, you know, get your soups out of the way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And why do you think you were so resistant, or like, do you have a feeling? Like, was it you didn't want to step out of your comfort zone, and you felt one was right and one was wrong? Or what was the, like, where do you think that resistance came from?
Yeah, probably just everything I had thought that I had known, you know, even though it had been years and years of me being like, get me out of this country. I've been here for 23 years. I'm like ready to go see something else. And then I get here and I'm seeing something else and I'm like, but I want my creature comforts, you know? But yeah,
those things
eventually.
are hard. I think mine was like coffee shops not being open at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Because in Thailand, they're just, coffee shops open 8 at the earliest. Maybe 7 if you're in Bangkok, but some places in Samui, 9 a.m., 10 a.m. for a coffee shop. And I'm like, what are you people doing between the hours of 6 and 10?
They're looking for a coffee shop to have a coffee so they can wake up to open up their own coffee shop.
Literally, they're like having 7-Eleven coffee so they can open up their coffee shop. And I think that was really challenging for me at first because I was just like, why are their coffee shops not open? What's wrong with this place?
Yeah.
Why are they not coffee? And also, along with opening hours, Thai opening hours are very like, they're flexible, you know, because I feel like most businesses in Thailand, they have a time that they usually open and then they stay open until they sell out. And so as soon as they've met their quota for the day and they're like, we've sold enough for today, they close shop.
Yeah.
So, you know, Google Maps says they're open from 8 to 4, but they're open from 8 to noon.
Yeah.
And then by noon, everything's sold out and then they close.
Yeah.
And that bothered me at first because I was like, why are you closing early? And my, you know, the American capitalist mindset that I had was you should work more and make more money because this is a missed opportunity.
Be consistent, yeah.
And also just like, you're clearly doing something right because you're selling out, so why don't you just sell more? Like, why wouldn't you stay open longer and make more money if you know that you're selling a product?
Yeah.
But I think here it was very much like a mindset of, we have enough.
Yeah.
And I've done what I needed to do to live today, and that's kind of
Now I'm
deeply
gonna go
ingrained
and-
in Thai cultures, you know, just like being content with what you have, not asking for more, not trying to like push yourself or
The
overexert.
hustle.
Yeah,
You
the
know,
hustle doesn't exist
isn't
here.
here as much, you know? But in America, it's like everybody's always looking for the next way to capitalize upon an opportunity.
Right, and to like get ahead, and it's this narrative of like the harder you work, then the more successful you're going to be, and they're just here like, why do we got to work so hard?
Yeah.
Like, I just need to work hard enough to like have what I need for today, and tomorrow I'll work
Tomorrow
again.
we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people here, their business is all wrapped up with their family and their home and their everything, you know? So it's like, in American culture and a lot of Western cultures, it's like you go to a different place to work with different people, work people, and it's this like contained thing. Whereas here, it's like half the time you're eating at a restaurant that is somebody's living room. You know, as soon as they close, it's going to become their living room again.
Right, and the kids like running around the back with powder all over their face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I
that's
remember
very
being like interested in that quality of it. The space between work and life is a lot more blurry, you know, whereas in the West we like compartmentalize these things, and maybe that's why we're more neurotic and crazy.
Maybe. Could be. Put a note on that. So when you came, thinking back, so we talked about things that challenged you. What was it? What were some of the things that really like enchanted you or inspired you or fed that hunger that you had kind of to see the rest of the world?
Okay, no offense to the Midwest, no offense to Missouri, no offense to St. Louis, but we've got one muddy ass river floating through a town. When my eyes saw the sheer beauty of Thailand, it was just like, I'd never seen anything so beautiful. You know, the jungle, and I was up in, well, I was all over Southeast Asia at first. I was in Laos, I was in Vietnam, I was in Myanmar, and just the jungle and the mountains and the landscape here. You say the word enchanting, that was enchanting, you know? And man, I was in Laos and I took a boat through a cave that was full of glowworms, and you're in there for like half an hour, and you pop out and there's a village that the only way to get to the village is through the glowworm cave. It's just like the
my
sheer
God.
natural beauty that I saw in that first year of travel was like insane. So that would definitely be a big part of it. As far as like Thailand and culturally and life, I was a high school teacher pretty quick upon my arrival. And I had worked with kids in the US before, but the vibe of Thai students, and this was so fun. And it's a government high school, super Thai. You know, I was one of few foreigners on the staff. There were no foreigners as students. It was just like a very Thai educational environment, and that was so fun. Like, the Thai teenagers were just, I mean, just sweet and fun and cool and respectful and silly, and it was just like,
Such good vibes.
yeah, you know, that really hooked me and made me feel like I want to stay here and be a part of this community and culture, you know.
For sure. I had a similar experience teaching 3rd grade, but same thing, just
Yeah.
like such adorable kids, such polite and respectful kids, and kids that were so full of love and energy and inspiring, and they were goofy and playful, but they were also like very studious and respectful, and it was just like, I loved being part of that, and I feel like it made me have a deep appreciation for Thailand and Thai culture that you wouldn't get had you not been like working in a Thai school and in the Thai systems.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that I really value and something that really helped me to integrate into Thai society was like having the experience of working in a Thai
That's like
education system.
the best way, I feel like, to integrate into a culture. And I don't want to say that to everybody, like, if you're not a teacher at heart, don't try and force yourself to be a teacher in order to
Please.
get in this way.
Please don't.
Because I think a lot of people do that. They're like, how am I going to stay in Thailand? Oh, I'll just be a teacher. And they suck at it, you know, and that's not doing a service to anybody except the person who's getting to stay in Thailand for it. But if you happen to be somebody who is interested in teaching and blessed with teaching skills, and you can bring that here and give that gift here, like, that is such an amazing way to arrive into Thailand.
For sure. I agree.
Yeah.
So we mentioned that being a teacher or working in a Thai system of some sort is a great way to integrate. What do you think are some of the ways or mistakes that people make when they move to Thailand or just to another country in general?
I'll give a little example from yesterday.
Okay.
I was walking my cat. That's a normal thing to do.
It's totally normal, no question.
I was walking my cat in front of my house, and she was rolling around in the sand in like an area where people park. And this car pulls up behind us and like stops. And I'm like, oh, are they trying to pull in exactly where I'm standing? Because there's like 2 or 3 spots open over here and 2 or 3 spots over there. Like, why would they want to go right here? I'm like, surely they just stopped there waiting for somebody. They keep being there. I keep looking over my shoulder. I'm like, what are they doing here? And finally, I gesture to them, you know. I'm like, don't you want to park there or park here? And they gesture to me. And so I'm like, okay. So I pick up my cat and I move. And they park in the exact spot where I was standing. And she gets out and she's like, oh, sorry, yeah, this is my spot. And I'm like, girl, you don't have a spot.
Girl, you don't have a spot.
Maybe in your home country, you lived in an apartment which had a spot that goes with your
That you
apartment.
paid for, a specific spot.
You know, or maybe you come from somewhere where that's a thing, but I'm like, that's not a thing here.
No.
You know, nobody is paying attention to whose spot is who. You know, and I'm sure that she feels like, you know, she needs that sort of control. And I feel like that's maybe a mistake people make, is like trying to control this vibe in the same way that they're used to things being controlled in their home vibe.
Big time.
You know? And it's just like, maybe it doesn't feel as safe in the chaos that is Thailand, but also the chaos, there's safety in that.
Yeah, and
you
it's kind of
know?
what makes this place incredible.
Yes, you can literally park anywhere.
Anywhere you want.
Yeah, you can stop in the middle of the road and just park, and everybody will
Don't
go
do that. Please don't
around
do that. This is not Vietnam. That's Vietnam,
That's
not
true,
Thailand.
that's true.
But it's true. You can park on the sidewalk. You can park in the dirt. You can park like on the back of someone's truck, drive up the ramp.
Exactly.
It's there
Exactly.
for the taking.
It's like you don't have a spot, but actually your spot is everywhere. So surrender to that. You know?
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I think that coming in with entitlement, not just to Thailand in general, but just in general, moving abroad, I think some people carry entitlement that they feel they have in their home country, and they expect to be treated a certain way. They expect systems in society to work in a certain way, and they think that they can demand that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you can't. You know, you can't come to a country that is completely different from where you're coming from and expect like their bureaucratic systems to work the same, their education systems to work the same, their hospitality to work the same.
It's just not gonna.
And you know, when you come in with those expectations, I think it sours your own experience because you're inevitably going to be let down.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to meet your expectations.
Yes.
And that's not the fault of the country that you're in. That's a fault of you having unrealistic expectations for the place that you're traveling. Can you think of any other mistakes that you think people make?
I mean, abstractly, I feel like a lot of people come to Thailand and just sit like oil on water here, you know?
What do you mean by that?
Like, they don't even really try. I think a lot of people come here, and this pisses me off.
Okay, tell me.
The cheap mentality.
Yeah.
You know, oh, Thailand is so cheap. I'm going to come here and live and it's going to be so cheap. My house is so cheap. My this is so cheap. I'm living so cheap. It's just like, okay, slow your roll. You know, that's like an entitlement thing that like stinks of entitlement.
Reeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's one way that people sit like oil on water of culture. Also, language. I mean, I know at the top of the episode, I admitted that I'm nowhere near the level of Thai that I should be at.
But you have some.
I can negotiate, I can get directions, I can make people laugh. That's the most important thing. You know, between my charade skills and my Thai language skills, all day long I'm making Thai people laugh, you know? And
that's not easy. I mean, it's easy to make them laugh. They're easy laughers, but like to tell a joke in a language that's not your own is not easy.
Yeah. So people not even trying at all with the language, I feel like.
Yeah, the people that have been here for like 30 years and can only order a beer in Thai, that's embarrassing.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah.
People who are only doing the things that are made for them, like the experience is made for Westerners. If all you're doing is eating eggs Benedict your entire time in Thailand,
you just come here and eat American breakfast every day?
Yeah, like that 23-year-old from St. Louis who was like, I want your soup.
She's the worst. Sitting over there munching on a stick of bacon.
Get this ice away from my beer. I mean, it's a million little examples, but like the general vibe is that they have their walls up, they have their mind set about how things are supposed to be, and they're unwilling to really see what's in front of them, and they're unwilling to, like receive and be a part of it. And they're just sitting on top of it.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really common thing that happens especially in countries where they're vacation destinations. I think when you're going somewhere on a holiday, you're in a holiday mindset.
Yes.
You're on vacation, you're just wanting to have a good time, you've probably saved up a bunch of money so you can like do these fun things, and you come to this place that in your mind is just perceived as like tropical paradise holiday destination, and you forget that it's a country where people were born and have grown up, and like there's problems that exist here, and there's like systems in society, and like there's a whole functioning economy and ecosystem that's like existing under your villa that you're like, you know, sipping a cocktail at. And I think that when people come on holiday in places, a lot of times they have kind of just a disrespect or a disregard for the place that they're in and the people that live there. And like you said, like the cheap mentality, they come with their money and they're like, oh, everything's so cheap, I can just afford to live like a king, not acknowledging the fact that the minimum wage here is very low, and the amount that they spent on one night in their villa is like what some people make in a month.
Yeah.
And, you know, just like the lack of awareness to that and the insensitivity to that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think there's also this mentality of like, oh, poor Thai people, they're so poor. Like, you feel like I should tip them so much money because like they, you know, I'm like, we also need to work with the local economy and like recognize, because I have beef with tipping.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear my beef. Okay, this is my hot take. I tip in situations where I feel like the service was exceptional and someone's like really waiting on me, or if it's just like rounding up, you know, a little bit, 5 baht, 10 baht, 20 baht.
Yeah.
But I think when people get into the habit of tipping large amounts, because it's Westerners and they're like, I'm just going to be generous, I'm going to give these like large tips, it starts to like create expectations among the staff, and then it makes the service that you are tipping for become inaccessible for local communities. Because, for example, there are like massage shops that only want foreign customers, because the foreigners will tip 100 baht on top of their 300 baht massage, and a Thai person's just not going to do that. And so they start turning away local customers because they're like, we only want to serve the people that are going to pay us more money. And I think that, you know, like that creates an interesting dichotomy, and I don't think people always think about it that way. They think like, I'm just going to give a little extra money. And that's, I'm not saying tipping is bad, and I'm not saying you should never tip or you're a bad person if you tip, but I think you have to be mindful of like how you're tipping and how you're using your money. I think it would be better to just go to the same massage shop 3 times and like give them your business repeatedly, or to recommend another customer and like get more people to come through, rather than trying to set this standard where like we're gonna tip all this extra money, because like not everyone can afford to do that. And then it kind of shifts the culture, and it's not your job to come to a place and change the culture. You know, it's your job to come to a place and integrate into the culture and like act in accordance with the way the locals do.
Yeah, this is a good point.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
So you gave an example of the woman with the parking, but do you have any examples of a time that you maybe made a cultural faux pas and you like learned?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I remember the first time I pointed my toes at Buddha. Which is not cool.
You did what?
Yeah, it was in Myanmar, and I did a whole trek, and we get to the resting spot, which happens to be a temple, and I just like throw my stuff on the ground and flop onto the ground, and my toes, pointed right at the Buddha.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and my trekking guy was like, you know, trying to hold me and like fix me.
They won't say it directly. They're just like, wouldn't you be more comfortable if you were over here?
Exactly. So I feel like I learned my lesson that day, but I do have a worse one that a friend did at a music festival in northern Thailand. So there was like Buddhas and, you know, things around, and she did her laundry in the river like you do at a music festival, and she hung them to dry wherever she could find, which happened to be, she hung her underwear on a Buddha. And they had to get on the mic and be like, excuse me, anyone who has their underwear hanging on the Buddha, please remove it. That is extremely disrespectful.
Oh my God.
So my toes seem innocent compared to that.
Oh my God, that is horrible.
That's horrible.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
See, talk about like complete disregard and disrespect to local culture.
Yeah.
Like that's just like.
She missed it. She was just like, oh, this area's in the sun. I'll just toss my panties on this wall. And it was like the area where the Buddha was and all
Okay, so it wasn't like on the Buddha.
It wasn't on Buddha, but it was on his like walls.
Okay, it was on Buddha's, it was in Buddha's house.
Yeah, it was in Buddha's house.
Okay.
She was drying her panties in Buddha's house.
I'm imagining like the pointy head of Buddha.
Just tying a laundry line to it. Yeah.
Okay. Not saying it's better that it was on the walls, but like, okay.
Yeah, but it was way too close to the Buddha for comfort.
Okay. So people, lesson.
These are easy things to learn.
They are. And it doesn't take much research to learn what's inappropriate and what's appropriate in a country.
Yeah.
I had a similar experience. I also used my foot to point to something. I think I had been told once before that like feet are dirty, you're not supposed to point at people, but I didn't realize like pointing at anything was rude. And I was at 7-Eleven with my ex, and he was Thai, and I had both of my hands were full. I think I had a bag of ice and I had something, and I wanted him to pick up one more thing, but there was a language barrier, so I couldn't tell him. He didn't understand what I was asking for. And so my hands are full and the thing was on the bottom shelf, so I pointed to it with my foot, and he immediately was like, hit my foot down, and he was like, don't do that, it's so rude. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And like, I also learned in that moment, I was like, okay, that was like, he got really offended. And it's not like he was mad at me, but it was just a reaction when he was like, oh my God, no, you can't do that. That's like a horrible thing to do. And now to this day, like when I see people do it, I also have the same reaction. I'm like, oh my God. When we were at Wonder Fruit, some guy like pointed to what he wanted on the menu with his foot, because he also had stuff in his hands. And I, like, my blood curdled. I was like, oh, God, don't do that. And the lady that was working at the stand was like, don't point to things with your feet. It's very rude. Oh, I'm so glad she told him. But, like, you know, it's things like that you wouldn't think twice about, because it's just not something that you're raised to think is rude. Same with eating while laying down, I've learned is, like, really bothersome to Thai people. I've had 2 occasions where Thai people have, like, been really horrified by someone lying down and eating. And it's not that I'm like regularly a reclining diner.
Ooh, is that your next podcast, the reclining diner?
Like I'm not like a Roman goddess who's just like, please feed me grapes, I'm exhausted. But like, if you're laying down watching a movie and someone has snacks out, like I don't see any problem with like enjoying a bite while I'm on my back.
Lounging.
You know, like it's a luxurious experience. But one time, this is actually like, not me, but a friend, she was laying on the couch and someone had put pomelo on the coffee table and she was laying down and like took a piece of the pomelo and ate it, and my friend was disgusted. She was like mortified that this girl would take a bite of the pomelo laying down. And then a similar thing happened when I was at a friend's house, Thai friend's house, and we were eating, and I was, you know, kind of like laying back on their sofa, and we were talking, and we had these mangoes, and I took a piece of the green mango and ate it, and he was like, what would your mother say if she saw this? He's like, should I take a picture and send it to her? And I was like, my mom's not gonna care. Like, what do you mean? Why is this a problem?
You guys thing.
You know, and so like,
I didn't know this one.
Yeah.
I learn something new every day. Yeah.
And some things in culture are really easy to learn about, and some things, like, you have to make mistakes.
And that's the thing, is you just, like, fear of mistakes shouldn't keep you from trying, engaging, going, doing the thing, you know, just if and when it happens, just take it with grace and humility.
Exactly.
You know?
Apologize, learn the correct way.
Take your underwear off of the Buddha.
Yeah,
you know,
don't do it again.
Sit up to eat your pomelo.
Yeah, and then
you know?
like chewing it in secret. Yes.
I also just thought of another mistake that I made when I first got here.
Tell us.
Yeah. You know, is it mugata or hot pot where it's like the spaceship?
Mugata.
Mugata.
Thai barbecue.
Thai barbecue. First time we had mugata, and all the people in the place were Thai. It was packed, and it was just me and the poet.
Maggie's vegan.
Yeah.
Vegan.
And so we were trying to do the mugata thing, but we totally missed the part where you're supposed to take just like a chunk of fat and like lube up that top thing.
Oh, yeah.
So everything just burned into a big burny mass of smoke.
And Thai people really love their food. So
and we were the only Falong, and we were basically creating a meat fire. But you just got to take it with humility, take it with grace, you know, scrape the burnt charred meat off the thing.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so
so
obviously there's a lot of ways to integrate into a culture incorrectly or just fail to integrate into a culture. But now I want to talk a little bit about how to come in right and how to integrate correctly to make the most out of your experience and also to really become part of the society that you're living in.
Cool.
And to kind of intro into this, I want to talk about a concept that I learned in my leadership minor. You guys are going to hate me by the end of this because I will not stop talking about my leadership minor ever. It's my favorite thing. But there was an author called Kevin, I think it's Winge or Winge, W-I-N-G-E. I'm sorry that I don't know how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah.
But he had, he wrote a book called Never Give Up. Never Give Up, Vignettes from Sub-Saharan Africa in the Time of AIDS. And in this book, there was a concept he called coming in right, where these like people were going into these African countries and trying to help. And he had a lot of narratives around how to show up to a place and try to like offer your help in a way that is correct and not just like going in and assuming you know the problem and assuming you can use the solution and assuming you can apply your like American systems and solutions to problems in another country. And he had a lot of good things to say about that. But my leadership minor had really neatly summarized the main points of his teachings into kind of 5 key areas. And I talked about 2 of these last week. They were to listen more than you speak and to ask more than you tell. And beyond that, he had this thing that he described as casting off your lens. So I think when we grow up, wherever you're raised, whatever your culture is, whatever your family has taught you, like you learn to see the world through one lens because it's the lens that's always been in front of you. And like your world is shaped by your experiences. And when you go to a completely different place with a completely different culture, you need to remove that lens. And you need to just kind of have your eyes wide open and see things for how they are without trying to compare them to how they compare to your home country or you know, like without thinking of all of the things that have influenced what you're seeing. You know, it's easy, for example, I think people come to Thailand and they're like, oh my God, how could that person be driving on a motorbike with a baby? That's so dangerous. That would never happen in the US. You would get like Child Protective Services called on you if you were driving a motorcycle with an infant with no helmet with one hand. Like, you know, and they just go like right into this pigeonhole of, you know, how wrong something is without thinking about all of the context behind why that is the situation here. Like number one, people grow up on motorbikes their whole lives. It's just the norm here. Motorbikes are the cheapest mode of transportation. Not everyone can afford a car. And so it's very common for people to have just motorbikes among families and not a car. There are so many things that contribute to the fact that people drive around with children on motorbikes here that go so much deeper than the fact of like someone just, you know, being irresponsible. And you know, it's not, Thai people wouldn't look at that and say that person is so irresponsible to have their child on a motorbike. They would just say that's normal. That's
Totally
how I
normal.
grew up too.
Yeah.
You know, and when you come in with this lens, with this one view of the world, I think that poses a lot of
Yeah.
danger. So it's one of the things he talks about is casting off your lens.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. And he also emphasizes the importance of acting like a guest when you go to a country.
Yeah,
and I think
for
it's like
sure.
the same way that you would act like a guest when you visit someone's home for the first time.
Yeah.
Like you play by their rules.
Yes.
You are respectful. You go
Yes.
out of your way to have good manners, you know, and you don't act the way you might act if you were, say, in your own home or at a friend's house where you know
Yeah.
them really well. Like you act like a guest because you're a guest there, you're visiting, and the place that you're in does not belong to you, and you need
Yeah.
to treat it with respect. And the last one he talks about is resisting the temptation to fix things
Oof.
or apply solutions to systems that might not be broken in the first place. But let's talk about coming into a place with eyes wide open, casting off your lens. What do you think that looks like when you come to Thailand?
I mean, that really should be the reason that you leave in the first place, you know? Because you want to go do that. Because you want to just go open your eyes as wide as they can go and see what you see, you know? And I think a lot of that is just like, moment to moment interactions. Like you have a million ways in one day to like interact with the culture. And it's just smiling, being open, receiving.
I think for me, it's also like being willing to see everything and not just the things that you want to see. I think sometimes we come and we just want to see the good stuff, or we want to see the things that are, like you said, catered towards us, and we
Yeah.
don't want to see the other things. Or
Yeah.
when we see the other things, we get really bothered by them. You know,
Yeah.
like I think a big one in Southeast Asia is single-use plastics.
Yeah.
It's just a huge thing here.
Yeah.
And it's like being a green country and zero waste is a privilege.
Yeah.
It's expensive and it's
Yeah.
difficult to get a society to the point where they're doing that. And when people are used to living in a world like that, that is, you know, really green, zero waste, and they come to a place where you can't drink the tap water. So of course
Yeah.
we're going to be using plastic
Yeah.
bottles. And, you know, like the way that street food culture thrives on single-use
Yeah.
to-go containers
Yeah, so
and
it's like
throwaway
a
plastics.
Deeper issue.
Yeah, there's a lot more to the story than just
Yeah.
like these people don't respect the environment. Like
Yeah.
that is not the case at all. It's just
Yeah.
like there are so many layers to this problem,
Yeah.
and you just have to be able to see that
Yeah.
and challenge yourself to ask why and to understand
Yeah.
deeper without like polarizing and be like, oh my god, it's horrible. I would
Yeah.
never
Yeah,
do that in
not
my
taking
country.
such a stance on it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like air pollution in Chiang Mai, that they have like a 3-month-long burning season every year, and everybody's like, why do they do that? Just stop burning. But it's like an incredibly complicated issue.
Yeah.
And the livelihood of all the hill tribe people around Chiang Mai like depends on being able to burn. And it's like a multifaceted issue. So just being like, stop burning, air pollution's bad, is like a really simplified,
Yeah.
you know, take on the
Yeah,
on the
and I think it's
situation.
important to see all of that, to see like all of the patterns and the history of why these things are the way they are.
Yeah.
And just accept them. You know,
Yeah.
like we don't have to offer solutions. We
Yeah.
don't have to say if it's right or wrong. We just have to see it
Yeah.
and be open to seeing it and understanding that that's like feeds into the reality of the place that you're in.
Yeah.
And I think
then maybe at some point there'll be ways that look like you can help or join efforts of helping. You know, because Thai people have issues with single serving plastic.
Oh, for
you know?
sure.
Thai
And they've
people have
made,
issues with
Thailand
air
has made
pollution.
great
Yeah.
strides in like they don't do plastic bags at 7-Eleven anymore, and a lot
Yeah.
of people are switching to biodegradable materials, and like
Yeah.
there is definitely efforts being made. But yeah, it's just like you need to observe as an observer.
Yeah.
And not as like not there to judge, not there to blame.
Yeah.
Just like what is.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Yeah.
Let it be how it is.
Let it
you
be.
know?
Yeah. I remember being so shocked by the power lines when I first arrived.
Oh my god, the power lines are crazy.
You know?
So
You're
many
like, "I'm
power
still
lines.
shocked." Yeah.
Sometimes things actually get shocked.
yeah.
And the fires
or like
start.
fires start. Yeah.
Because it's like zzz, zzz.
But I was like in the same moments where I was so breathtaking and enchanted by the beauty of everything, it was just like a big gnarly knot of power lines like right between me and the view, you
Yeah.
know? And where I have spent most of my life up till that point, we bury the power lines.
Yeah.
So they're not up in the sky all the time.
That's a great example of like seeing the good and the bad, or like the beautiful and the not so beautiful about
Yeah.
a place. And like the combination of that is what makes a place what it is. So
Yeah.
we need to be able to see it all. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about acting like a guest in someone's home. So,
Yeah.
I mean, just simply when you you were raised in the U.S. When you kind of grew up in the South, right? Which I feel like Southern culture is like a little bit more like, yes, ma'am, respectful.
We did the yes, ma'am.
You know, so like, what are some basic etiquettes you learned as an American like house guest?
Okay, being really like complimentary, you know, of whoever's hosting you, you know, really complimenting their home, complimenting the food they're serving, you know, being really like uplifting and filling their bucket of self-esteem. And I feel like that really relates to traveling too, you know? Tell the person their kid is cute. Tell them that their food is delicious.
Yeah.
You know, tell them that their garden is lovely. Figure out how to say all those things in Thai. They're not that hard either.
No,
you know?
yeah.
It's like,
and like that small piece of effort goes so far.
yes, compliments go a long way. And there's so much here to love and compliment. So let it come out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Ideally in the language that is of the place.
Yeah.
You know?
Or at least with a smile.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I think for me, a big one was always like cleaning up after myself and offering to be helpful, other
that's a good
than
one.
like basic just being respectful. But, you know, like coming in and leaving a place as you found it. So if you're staying overnight, you know, like helping fold the blankets and put them back away, or like offering to take your stuff to the laundry room, or cleaning up the dishes after a meal that was shared with you. And I think that translates to traveling as well. When you go to another country, you should clean up after yourself, you know, like don't leave your trash on the beach, and don't leave a huge mess for them to clean up. And I also don't mean this as like how you behave as a guest in a place where you're paying to be a guest, but just in the country in general, you know, like don't make a mess. Be respectful. Come into someone's house and like respect their rules. If you don't just go smoking a cigarette in the middle of someone's house, I don't smoke, but like, you know, people just come here and they're like, oh, I can just like smoke on the ferry or smoke in the middle of this like group of people, and I'm like, dude, just because you're here doesn't mean you just stop being respectful.
And then
of
once weed got legalized, then it's like they're blowing their weed smoke all over children and
yeah,
stuff.
it's like,
just
read the room. Read the room, you know?
It's like, we get it, you're on vacation, smoking a joint on the beach, good for you. But there's like, you know.
Yeah, it's just like they lose this basic human etiquette, like this basic decency, and it's like, no, you need to still act as you would if you were visiting someone's house, but like the house is the country that you're visiting.
Yeah, it's a
So
cool
be
metaphor.
respectful.
Yeah.
You know, act like a guest. Okay, so the next thing I want you to talk a little bit more about, because we went to Mexico together, which was a really fun trip. And one of the things you told me on that trip was a piece of advice that your mom had given you when you first were leaving the U.S. Shout out Maggie's mom.
Yes.
She said, make sure that you're always giving as much as you take.
Yeah.
So can you tell me a little bit more about that and what that looks like?
Yeah, and that really stuck with me, you know? It stuck with me because it's hard to do when you travel, actually.
It is.
When you travel, you show up, you're like, I need a place to lay my head tonight behind a locked door, you know? I need water, I need food, I need ideas of stuff to do, I need directions, I need. It like really swivels the spotlight onto you, and it's easy to just be in that, like you fulfilling your needs and not doing these other things that we talked about, like being open and being curious and giving to the people around you. So as a traveler, it's hard, and you have to be creative about it, you know? One way that I've developed that over the years is like traveling with purpose and with intention. When I first started traveling, when I was in my 20s, it was just like, I'm here, let me see what I can see. But now as I've gotten older, I like to travel to a place for a purpose. Like I'm about to go to Nepal in a couple weeks to do yoga. It's like that's an amazing thing to do in Nepal, and there's so many people that are putting their hearts and souls into these different retreats and yoga teacher trainings and yoga treks and So I feel like that's a cool way to give as much as I receive, you know? Go to Nepal to do yoga. Like I went to India once in my early days traveling when I was just like, need. And oh man, India will just do a number on making you feel like you need 1,000 things, you know? I need safety, I need security, I need a train that's not overflowing with people to get me from point A to point B. It's like you really have to pull your energy in and be like, am I safe, you know?
And were you solo traveling?
No, I was with the poet.
Okay.
And yeah, we had a terrible time. And I was like, all right, India. But then like 5 or 6 years later, I had the opportunity to go back to India.
Okay.
As part of a performance troupe.
Oh, cool.
So I was doing improv comedy performance in Chiang Mai, and we got invited to go to this like international improv festival in India. And I was like, all right, India, my old friend, you know, I swore I was never coming back, but here I come. And that second trip was amazing because we were, invited by these Indian improv troops, and they were
Okay.
so happy to have us there.
Cool.
And then we were connecting about this common interest, and they were doing improv in Hindi, which I somehow could totally understand.
Oh, I love that.
And that time it was like I felt like I was able to give as much as I could take. I was like part of this performance community, this thing that they were excited about, that they worked to make. So that's a big one, traveling with like intention. You
I like
know, I
that.
don't do so much just like wandering around and seeing what I see. It's more like
Yeah,
I
like
go
let me
places.
see what I can find here for me.
Yeah, and that just turns into like, I need things, entertain me, show me things, feed me delicious foods, me. And now it's more like, okay, what is this thing that you've created that I can come and be a part of? Because everywhere has that. It's like there's the
True.
tourist attractions, which are like, meh. But there's also like in Thailand, there's a million cooking schools made by like heartfelt aunties who have amazing recipes, and they're like, please come to my cooking school. I want to teach you how to cook. That's the sort of tourist attraction where I'm like, hell yeah, that's like giving and receiving, Yes, that's a big one for traveling, is figuring out how to travel with intention and being okay to do tourist attractions that are like heartfelt and
Yeah, I think-
created as an exchange.
Doing things also that support local businesses
Yes.
and not going to like big resorts that are corporate, commercially owned,
Yeah,
that
I
have
forgot
chains
was
all
even
over
an
the
option,
world.
But yes.
I know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the most amazing things about being in Southeast Asia, coming from where we come from. It's like in the U.S., you can't make it through a day without supporting big business in some way, shape, or form.
true.
It's like everything that you need, the money ends up going back to the Waltons or the whoever, main big businesses. But almost all of the money I spend here is like me just handing money to a person.
Yeah, usually it's like a 13-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm like, give this to your mom. Thanks
Yeah.
for lunch. Or like my pay rent to like a family that I know.
Yeah.
I rent my motorbike from people who I look them in the eyes and I give them the money. It's like,
And then you see them at the market spending that same money to like buy their dinner. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually like one of my favorite things about not living in America is I feel like I can just live my life, and most of my commerce and exchange is just human to human, Sometimes I have to buy a plane ticket, which involves purchasing jet fuel, but most of the time it's like, here is some money, thank you for the durian,
And of course, like obviously there are going to be times where we have to take a little bit more than we can give.
Yeah,
But
especially
I think
when traveling, you end up in situations where you're just like, oh God, I need a hotel and a bus ticket and a meal like now,
Right. But I think it's important to have that awareness and the intention
Yeah.
to also give
Yeah.
something back in some way.
And there's amazing things like volunteering abroad, woofing abroad.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are set up that are like, yeah, you come and you help, and in exchange will delight you with whatever the cool travel-y thing is of the
Yeah.
region,
Yeah.
And when I first came, I was doing a bunch of woofing. I stayed on lots of farms in northern Thailand. There's like more woofing farms in Thailand than any other country.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's like such a cool way. If you're not a teacher, don't be a
you
teacher
don't
if you're
know-
not a
If you
teacher.
don't know what woofing is, to explain woofing to the
okay,
people.
okay. Yeah, woofing stands for Worldwide Organic Farms.
I thought it was working on organic farms.
She'll put it in the show notes.
Something about
WWOF.
oh
I
WW.
think it's WWOF.
That's a weird way to spell woof.
That is a weird way to spell wolf.
We're
Now
both bad at spelling.
starting to.
We're both horrible spellers and have been English teachers.
Yeah, don't tell
for-
anybody. Do not tell anybody.
I'm now a paid copywriter by profession, and I have an alliance with Grammarly and Spellcheck.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll lead you right. But woofing is a network of farms.
Worldwide Organic Farms.
Worldwide
Okay.
Organic Farms, I think.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yours also sounded good, though.
Working on organic farms? I always thought it was WOOF. That's how
Which
I would spell
does
woof.
sound more right now that you mention it.
I don't know. Anyway.
Look it up. You guys have the Google.
You can work on farms is the point of the story.
Yes, and you go, and in exchange for your labor, basically, you get to stay on this like amazing farm in this beautiful country, and it's usually just a trade thing. Sometimes you pay a little bit, but then you get to learn about farming. You get to be a part of their project. Oh man!
And the work that you've done is like benefiting the community.
Yeah, yeah. And some of these projects are like so cool. Permaculture, organic stuff. It's like that's such a cool way to give as much as you take, I think.
That is super cool.
Yeah.
And what does it look like to give as much as you take when you are living in another place?
Way easier.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because when you're traveling, you have so many needs,
Yeah, true.
And it takes kind of your whole day to figure out your needs, But
And you're there for such a short time.
Yeah, and it's just like even just figuring out accommodations and tickets and entertainment, it's like you know, it's hard. But once you live somewhere, you can really set up your life to promote that sort of vibe. You can choose work that gives as much as you take. Volunteering, you know, that's an amazing way to get involved in a community. Yeah, being local, having local relationships with people, supporting their businesses. I feel like every day you have more choices on how you can give as much as you take.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, one quick story. My friend came and she was training to be a vet nurse in the UK. So she joined one of these.
I also had a friend that came from the UK to be a vet nurse. That's so strange.
Should we say their name on 3?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Ruby.
Jody.
Oh my God, so similar.
I forgot that Ruby was like
Yeah,
that.
Ruby's a vet nurse. Okay, anyway.
So she joined this group of like Thai vets who would drive around and pick up street dogs and like sterilize them and release them. And one day she wanders into my kitchen and she's like, "Hey, can I borrow your table?" And I was like, "Sure, you can borrow my kitchen table. What do you need it for?" She's like, "Well, we're setting up like a castration station over at my house." I'm like, "Oh, you're going to castrate dogs on my kitchen table?"
And it was so nice of you to give her that.
I was like, "There's a table under the house. You can use that one." There are limits to my altruism.
Okay. Fair enough. As a vegan, I understand.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Here's an interesting adjacent to volunteering.
Okay.
Is getting involved in art communities.
Ooh.
You know,
okay.
it's like that's, you know, when you think of volunteering, you're like, you know, helping and you're in the thick of it. But arts are an amazing way to like be involved, going to shows, being involved in festivals, like, you know, it's an amazing way to show up and be a part of a community as well. Go to shows, go to concerts. People put effort into making that stuff happen.
Yeah.
So by you showing up, that's giving. You know?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of underlines everything that we talked about. Like the importance of integration is not only coming to a place for your own satisfaction, but coming and showing up for the people in that place and like showing your gratitude, supporting in whatever way you can, be it like clapping for their performance or purchasing their products or learning about their initiatives and spreading the word. Like there's so many ways to show up and to receive and give in exchange rather than just like coming, doing exactly what you want, the things that were like catered to you and then leaving without ever really learning anything or like gaining something from that experience. I don't know. I think about people who go on vacations, and this is no hate to people who go on like all-inclusive trips.
Get it.
Like
You're tired. You work hard.
Yeah, and sometimes you do just need like a luxury. Like I need to tune out from everything and like relax. We all do that. But some people come to Thailand or they come to any country. Yeah. You know, we were both extras on the White Lotus actually, so this is funny to think about. But you know, like people who come to stay at the Four Seasons, they never leave the resort. They're in the resort the whole time. They're in their nice pool villa. They pay $1,000 a night to stay in these, which is crazy.
Oh my God.
But they're staying in these resorts. They're just like eating the resort food. They're doing the resort activities that were curated just for them. Yeah. And then they go home and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was in Thailand. It was so great." I'm like, how much of Thailand did you see? You know? And it's like, what is the image in your mind of Thailand and what image are you painting to the rest of the world when you go and tell them about your time in Thailand because you only experience this like very small curated experience? Yeah. You know? So I think that it's so important to show up and to integrate and like see the local life and to experience the local life.
Go to the market, you know? Like those people showed up, made all that food, set up the market. Like that's giving in a way too.
Yeah, and also just for your own like experience it. And like
it, I swear.
You'll enjoy it's like the durian, you know? Like you gotta appreciate it and learn to do it right so that you can get the most out of it. Yeah. Because otherwise you're just like showing up and eating a rancid durian and you're like, ugh, not my thing.
Or if you're just like, ooh, that smells bad. I don't even want to be open to the concept of it. You know? Then you miss nature's salted caramel burrito.
You miss it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, since we're back on the topic of fruit.
Okay, nice.
We always end Fruit Friday with a little bit of fruit for thought. So I want to give you a chance to offer the fruit for thought this week.
Ooh.
If you had to give one piece of advice to someone for integrating into a new culture, what would you tell them?
Yeah, I think it would be playful about it, you know? Because there's no one way to do it. Like if you do this, you integrate. Yeah, it's going to be different for every person with what their skills are and what their interests are and what their vibe is, you know? It's like how even us being so similar, the way that you've integrated with Thailand through your like language learning and your content creation and like living in this Thai ass house, you know, is like really different than what I've done, you know, like creating festivals with Thai people and, you know, doing art stuff. It's like, it's going to look different for every person. So it's like, you just have to be playful and curious and open and like know that that's the mission, you know, and know that you might experience some discomfort or some confusion or some uncertainty about it. But, yeah, that you're creating this dynamic between you and your gifts and the culture and its gifts and play.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So that's your fruit for thought this week, everyone. How can you be more playful?
Yeah.
Can you be more playful in your approach to cultural integration?
Yeah. And don't be scared just because maybe is a little stinky. Now back to the Dutch Durian.
It's not stinky, you guys. It's fun. It smells good. All right. Well, thank you so much, Maggie, for joining us on Fruit Friday. It's been an absolute pleasure.
This was
I hang
fun.
out with you every day, but it's fun to do it on camera.
Do you want to keep hanging out?
Yeah, let's keep hanging out. If you like this podcast, please like, save, share, rate it 5 stars, and don't forget to join me next week because we will be talking about dealing with feelings of loneliness and creating community while abroad.
Ooh, who's
Until
on that
then, it's just me.
one? Okay, fine.
Until then, because I'm lonely.
That's good. I see it. It's a metaphor.
Until then, happy Friday.
Take one last bite of that juicy slice. Fruit for thought, sounding oh so nice. Human heart of wisdom, served just right. Laughing, learning, loving too. Fruit Friday's here with the juice for you.
Do you think I need to put an explicit tag on this episode because of how much we're like making out with fruit? The amount of moaning that's going on this couch is concerning.
Yeah.
You learn
on
something new
hold.
every day. Let me teach you about podcast production. I
Yeah,
know next
please.
to nothing.
Please do. I think
Here's
you know
nothing.
a lot.
I'm right next to it.
I see 1, 2, 3, 4 tripods.
There's 4 tripods in this room. How many tripods is too many tripods?
I think 4 is working.
4 is borderline.
I think if there were more tripods, I'd be intimidated.
I think we're in the midst of a tripod forest at the moment. Okay.